And then the peak, the pinnacle. The worst, this is how we end the video. If you're still watching up until this point, congratulations. You've made
click
it.
Click the subscribe button.
Yes, click subscribe, comment. You've made it to the worst advice I've ever gotten in my life. I don't think anyone will ever talk. This is incredible. This man gave me this advice while his wife was sitting next to him like this. And she agreed. She said yes. She even added to his point. It was absolutely incredible that day. I couldn't even believe it. Like, wow.
Okay. When I trust you, I know I'll be okay. There's no shame. I try to cover up with these, but there's no shame. No pain. Cannot wait to be with you where there's no pain. So till then, I'ma have faith. Living for tomorrow, celebrating my today. Hey.
Hi guys.
Welcome to Live from the Other Side. I'm Nkanyiso.
I'm Nkanyiso.
Yes, today we have an action episode for you. It's something that we had actually promised, which is the best and some of the worst.
But we're focusing on best advice.
Yes, let's focus on the best.
Like best marriage advice.
Yes.
This is advice we were given before we got married.
Yes.
Or like way before or just before
yes.
we were about to get married.
And it's advice that were given directly?
Yes.
Yes. It's advice that were given directly.
Some of it is like generic advice.
Yes.
But like, we'll let you know if it works or not. But
yes. And it was given to us just before we got married. So, yes, take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we're not saying you must follow. Maybe people's opinions are different.
Yeah.
Maybe someone will listen to the words and be like, that was great advice.
You know?
That was excellent advice. So, who knows? Yes. So, Tamin?
I will
start.
Ne? So this one was given to me by my mom, even way before we got married.
Yes.
Even way before the prospect of getting married was like,
okay.
You know?
Yeah.
She's always saying there is no ready-made wife or ready-made husband. In other words, you don't walk into a marriage or you don't suddenly say, I do, and then suddenly you are the best wife or you're the best husband.
Okay.
Ne? Like, don't put so much pressure on yourself or don't put much pressure on your partner and be like, how? Now that we're married, I expect you to be like 1, 2, 3. So if your partner falls short and then suddenly you feel like the world is coming to an end, it's not, because you didn't, like, your person was not made like ready-made or okay, this is the perfect husband, and then you walk into the marriage like that.
Okay.
He's getting into the marriage, he's also learning, so you become the partner for your wife or the spouse for your spouse while in the marriage. Because the perfect wife for you is not necessarily a perfect wife for the next husband.
Yes, that's true.
You know, like people are different.
There's no like one size fits all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, like, with that being said, don't put too much pressure on yourself or on your partner. They're also navigating. That's the other thing that we walk into marriage thinking.
Yes.
Because we're taught and we're told, yes, the man is the head, he's the leader. I, for some reason, expected you to have all the answers. Like, all of the answers.
Yes.
Like when we were like, okay, what do we do now?
Yeah.
I expected you to
like,
know.
Oh,
and when you were like, I don't know, it was like, what?
Yeah.
What do you mean you don't know?
Yeah, the husband is supposed to know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought that.
Yeah.
So it turns out, even the husband needs some like goes through a learning curve. For some reason, I don't know why I gave myself the grace of, okay, I'll see as I go along.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I expected you to have all the answers, like at the back of your pocket, like, okay, this is how we do this.
Yes.
So that was really good advice.
Yeah.
So whenever like that comes up and I remind myself of what my mom like telling me, there's no ready-made wife or there's no ready-made husband.
Yes.
We don't always have the answers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great advice.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Mamzo. Yes. Okay, so for me, the best advice, this was by far the best advice I was ever given. And I just want to put it out there that every good advice I was given directly before I got married, all of it came from Christian men. Like properly is like saved men, not just like I fill it out in a form, but like real saved men. They all gave outstanding advice. Some of it, of course, will not make it into the list, but generally the Christian men gave great advice. And consistently, very consistent, the unsaved guys, of which, yes, there are quite a lot who I interact with on a daily basis. The unsaved guys all consistently gave terrible advice. Like almost all of them. And I'm just putting it out there. I'm not trying to promote Christian gens over, I'm not trying to, that's not what I'm trying to do. But if you see all my best advice having a very religious tone, don't be surprised, because for whatever reason, the unsaved guys were just giving very poor advice. So if you're not saved and you've got good advice, put it in the comments below. You know what I'm saying? Because the unsaved gens have the most shocking advice I've ever heard in my life. Okay, so to get it started, the best advice I ever got was from my pastor in Zim. I went to him before we got married and I said, listen, I'm getting married and there's all these lobola monies and everything and I'm stressed and I don't know what to do, blah, blah. And I thought that Mfundi was just going to be like, no, I don't know how to, God will provide, and that's it. And he took me to the side, and I knew that when you get taken to the side by Mruti, and now he's like, guy, I need to speak to you. One-on-one, let's be, And he said, listen, you need to know and be certain what the spiritual foundation or the spiritual authority, I believe that's the word he used, spiritual authority of your marriage is going to be. And I said, what do you mean? And he said, no, you can only have one spiritual authority in your marriage, only one in your home. And you must decide which one will be the authority. Will it be man? And by man, he means that like culture, the culture of man, or will it be the Lord? And you're going to have to decide and be certain on the day of your wedding which one was your foundation or your authority. And he said, even with us, because he's a white man, he said, even with us white people, we do regular white weddings, European weddings, and we can even be Christians when we do our white wedding. But man is still the authority of our marriage. And you can do it in your African context, and Christ is the authority. But you are going to have to know. And this advice, because he's a white man, so initially I thought maybe he just doesn't understand Lobola. But then I was praying and I said, no, I trust him, which means there is need for revelation. And today it won't be a sermon, fam, which means there's need for revelation. The best words are the ones which need revelation directly from the Lord. And when I got the revelation of what he was saying, it completely just blew my mind. Because then I realized, and I've spoken about this in a previous episode, that there's essentially three authorities that you can have in your marriage. There's man, which is expressed by culture. There's your religion, which in our context are Christians, Christ, all that. And the third is the law. And the day of your wedding, all three actually have a slot in your wedding. There's the legal section. If whoever has a problem, whoever holds your peace, that's actually the legal section. Do you know of any lawful impediment, blah, 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 I do. That's actually the legal side. And then there's the culture, which for us is expressed by lobola and everything else that takes place on the day of the wedding, which is a cultural thing. And then there's the spiritual side of like the fact that we did it in a church, we did it with the pastor, he prayed for us. I think with Catholics there's a thing they do with a candle and all that sort of stuff. so all three are on the day of your wedding. But only one will be the authority. And that advice for me, if whenever we have like a dispute, we go through a tough time, or then it shows which one was the authority.
Yeah.
Because if like man was the authority in my culture, in our culture, like if there's a serious disagreement, then we go to the people who lobola us.
Yeah.
And we say, this is my situation. Yenza lokhu ubuye ekhaya ngo-12 ebusuku every day. You know what I mean? We go to the people who lobola us. We go to our elders. We allow them to intervene in our marriage. We make them almost a part of our marriage when we get to difficult parts. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying that is how we do it in our culture.
Yeah.
And if that is your foundation, then hey, that's you. But as well, let's just hope that your malumas get it right the first time, and they don't cause a whole mess in your life. You know what I mean? For someone their foundation is the law, then they're going to do everything that is not illegal. You know what I mean? And the law really is like the least you can ask a person. That's basically what the law is. The law is like the least you could do is do this. You know what I'm saying? That's literally the least you could do. And then, of course, there's this foundation of, making Christ a foundation. Where when Tabiso is stressing me at midnight and I can't even sleep because why did I marry this woman? I say, oh Lord, this woman you gave me. Give me grace for this woman. And if you are really, really saved, it's difficult to explain the science of it, but the Lord will calm you down. Holy Spirit will calm you down. It's not a scientific thing, but this is what happens. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I've seen in our marriage, and so I kept that advice, and I said the Lord is the authority in our marriage. And I think it's been working out really great. Not just like the times where it's all good, but all those times where we don't post for 2 months, because we are strengthening. We're strengthening. We're going through a season of strengthening. Even through those times, having the Lord as my authority has, I feel for us, produced the best. As opposed to any other form of, authority. And that for me is really the best advice. I feel that if you are saved and you take that advice, you will build your marriage on a rock. If you're not saved, hey, like I said, maybe, but I'm just saying. So, yes, what is your second one?
My second one was given to me by my dad. So mom and dad have like the top two best advice I've
Funny enough, they're both Ruti and Mom Ruti, by the way.
Yes, they're also marriage counselors. So
and pastors.
They just like to talk a lot about these things. So the things that they've said to me, I'm not like, okay, makes sense.
Yes.
So my dad has always like said this analogy of a person or like a partner or a spouse is like a packet of frozen mixed veg.
Yes.
You've heard this one before, ne?
Yes, I've heard it from him,
Yeah. So a person is like a packet of frozen mixed veg. Ne? When you buy the mixed veg from the store, it comes with like different kinds of vegetables. It has carrots, it has peas, it has broccoli or cauliflower, all of these kinds of vegetables inside. Ne?
Yes.
But sometimes maybe you're not a fan of peas.
Yes.
But you can't tell the store to take out the peas from the packet because when you don't like peas.
Okay.
You buy the whole packet.
Yes.
Because that's how it's being sold.
Yes.
They're not going to like take it out for your sake.
Yes.
So the same applies to a person.
Yes.
There are good qualities about a person. When you're like, oh, I really like this person, I could marry them. You take the good with the bad. You can't separate because it's one person. They have all those characteristics.
Yes.
So it's up to you to be like, okay, I can live with the peace.
Yes.
You know, because sometimes you get married thinking, I don't like this part of this person, but I'm going to change him or her. And the most frustrating thing you'll ever try to do in a marriage is try to change a person.
Oh, yeah.
A person can only be changed by God.
Yes.
Like,
these are facts.
Let that sink in.
Yes.
Like, you will try and be like, you know what? I'm going to change him.
Yeah.
He's going to change.
Yes, so I'm going to change her.
Don't do it. Don't do it. It doesn't work.
You'll be so stressed.
So a person can only be changed by God. When you will never go Beyonce.
Yeah.
You can't change a person.
Yeah. Even if you're Beyonce. These are facts. Yeah.
Like, this person is like this. If the Lord does not deal with them, got that issue.
Yes.
When I don't know who you think you are.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's one of like the best advice I've ever gotten. When you get married, just ask yourself, am I willing to live with the peace? Like,
yes. Am I willing to live with the peas?
With the peas.
The peas is even better because some people like peas.
Yeah, some people like
cauliflower, broccoli.
Exactly.
I want to live
like, will I die?
Yes.
If I continue eating peas.
Yes.
Or I can, I can stomach peas.
Yes. Yes, that's true.
Yeah. So, like, that's, like, the best advice I've ever gotten. Because otherwise, I'd be stressing. Going crazy. I'm like, oh my gosh, I married the wrong person. But then they have all these carrots and, what are the other veggies that I like?
Yes.
It's a very hard analogy because I don't like vegetables.
Yes.
So, things like carrots, like, oh, but I really love the carrots in this person. So sometimes those things outweigh the peas. And then you want to throw away the whole... That's the other thing. But again, it doesn't make sense to throw away the whole pack over peas. Sometimes peas is the height.
Yes. Yeah.
Then
you're going to throw out the whole person. Because they're a
little bit shorter than what you want to be. Yeah,
exactly. Exactly. Then a whole plate.
Yeah.
But hey, what's this expression that one man's meat is another man's poison? You threw away the whole thing because of the peas. Then someone else is like, chance. But yes, it's actually fantastic advice. Okay. That brings me to my number 2 of good advice, which was given to me by a colleague who's also a pastor.
Yeah.
Yes, this is insane. And his advice was very simple, and he just said, Nkanyiso, just be content with your wife. Just be content with her, no matter what shape she becomes, no matter what size that shape is, no matter what she looks like in the morning, what she looks like at night. No matter what other people look like in the morning and what other people look like at night. Just be content. This is your person. And he says, if you can't learn to be content, I'll never forget that advice. Shout out to him, He says, if you never learn to be content with your wife, you're going to have problems. Because down the line, when transformation takes place and she started off being oval, she started off being a Coca-Cola. Now she's a box. Now she's a square. say round, you're gonna have problems.
Yeah.
If you can't be content with her like that.
Yeah.
And it sounds like it's not a slight at her.
Yeah.
It's not a slight at women. It's not a slight at women. The fact is that, like having kids, for instance, for a lot of people will change your physical, But that was very simple but very accurate advice, because a lot of people become discontented.
Yeah.
And then you be angry and say, you don't do it for me anymore.
Yeah.
And then you go outside, wandering outside. And we are men after all, and men are very attracted to the physical. So that was, for me, that was great advice. I was like, okay, just be content. So I try my best. Yeah. And I mean, it's easy to be content because look at my wife. She's a flame. So I don't struggle with that one. Huh? Okay. What's your...
my next one is not like a personal one. This is like a generic advice I've heard.
Yes.
The one about don't go to sleep angry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I get that's the advice.
Yes, never let the sun set on your anger.
Yes, it's based on that scripture.
Yes.
But I feel like that advice is not for everyone.
Okay.
Because I feel like if we were to be like, no, you can't go to sleep while you're angry, we'll be up all night trying to figure out or trying to sort out this issue, or like trying to, because I feel like there are arguments where I need to process what just happened.
Yes.
Or like what you said.
Yes.
I'm like that person. I need to process. I need to make sense of my thoughts.
Yes.
I need to be able to articulate how I feel. And sometimes in the moment I don't understand how I feel. So how am I going to explain to you how I feel if I don't know myself how I feel?
Yeah.
So sometimes the best thing for me to do at that moment is to go to sleep.
My wife processes like a BlackBerry. That's what we have. And that's what I learned about my wife. My wife is like a BlackBerry. You just need to the device just needs to shut down and restart. Just restart it. It will do it.
It's fine. I'll take it.
Once it's restarted, it will do it. But right now, asking me now.
No, you can't ask me to, like, I'm flooded with emotions.
Yeah.
How do you expect me to be like a normal functioning person and to be here?
Yes.
Like, if I'm flooded, like going to sleep calms me down. And I wake up, maybe the Lord spoke to me while I'm asleep. Because sometimes God does that. He needs you to be, defenses down, and then He'll speak to you.
Yeah.
Also, I am tired emotionally.
Yes.
I can't keep doing this.
Yes.
So I need to sleep.
Yes.
And then when you wake up, I think the next morning,
it's a new day.
It's a new day.
Yes.
It feels like you can say you're sorry easily, as compared to like the night before.
Yes.
So the one of don't go to bed angry, I understand the intention.
Yes.
And sometimes maybe it's a good idea because, you don't want a fight to continue for days on end because you're just like determined to be angry at this person.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like it doesn't work for introverts. Let me say that. Or it doesn't work for me. Maybe I must not speak for all introverts.
Yes.
It doesn't work for me. I need to process and I need to sleep and some good rest. And I wake up and we talk about it and then we're good.
Okay.
Otherwise we'll be up all night and nothing will be solved.
Okay. Yeah. So my next point, it seems that I have more points than my wife.
Yeah.
Just this advice that I was...
Well, I think I have one more.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. This was advice that I was given by a colleague again at home. Someone who's actually a loyal fan of the channel. They watch it regularly, so shout out.
Shout out to.
Okay, to Mrs. Zondo.
Hi, Baka Zonda!
Yes, she once gave me this advice. I don't think she was she giving me advice or was she scolding me? I'm not sure. It was a combination of both. The advice came in as scolding. So I was very stressed at the time.
Yeah.
Raising money for Lobola.
This Lobola gave you stress.
No, so much stress. Because I was at the time based in Zim.
Yeah.
And Zim was on max.
Zim is always on max.
It's not always on max. Sometimes you go 8, you go 7, you go,
Yeah.
It just never goes below 5. But on this occasion, it was on max. So I was so stressed because I had to go in another country, in another currency, which was, it really was very, very frustrating. One day I was just, pity party, and in came Mrs. Zondo. She was not tolerating pity party that day.
Yeah.
And she said, listen, when God created man, I mean to you as the husband, he commissioned you with the farming.
Yeah.
I said, you're the one who's going to plow the fields. And if the fields are too hard, then go to your God and ask him to help you plow your fields. Because it's not my job. As the wife, it's not my business. That commission wasn't given to me.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, oh. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That God does give grace for the role that he has given you.
Yeah.
He's not just going to give you a role and then not give the grace and the provision for you to be able to fulfill that role. He's not going to just leave you and like, yeah, go do this. Yeah, you'll figure it out yourself. That's not how God works. And I know we generally say that, the husband's role is to provide. Yeah. And we can track back certain aspects of that to scripture. Like that when the Lord said, okay, man's going to go plow. I'm going to plow the field. And it's going to be hard. He said that in Genesis. That from now on, it's going to be hard. God said that making money is going to be tough. He actually said that. But God also has grace to provide. You know what I'm saying? Not that the money is going to fall out of the sky, but to make the work of your hands fruitful.
Yeah.
So ever since she gave me that advice, I was like, okay.
I didn't know this.
Hey, obviously I'm not going to be great telling you. Now you know. But when I heard that advice, that's why I'm so calm. I don't know. I think I'm so calm. I frustrate you sometimes. I just seem so calm. Like, why are you this calm? Because I'm just like, no. I say, go to my father and I say, listen, you said it'll be hard, but you said I must do this. And so, make it happen. And I'm going to try what I can, and you must have grace for that. And it's such a relief or a load off to know that I can go to my God, I can go to the Lord, and he will provide grace. Because as men and as husbands, we absolutely kill ourselves, sometimes literally, over this particular topic of finance and money. We want to provide for our families, we want to do all sorts of things. There's no money at home, and it's a difficult world to make money in. You know what I mean? It's just the nature of our money is difficult to acquire. It's just how it works. And we end up doing all sorts of criminal things or getting stressed and getting all sorts of depression or taking it out on your wife, taking it out on people around you. There's so many things that happen that are negative that happen because you are stressed, or things that happen because you failed and you couldn't. And that advice really just was so liberating for me, and it worked. I hustled, and some of the hustles worked. It's just like, God, this is amazing. You know what I mean? But I was also working, and these things were just happening, and we got married at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So yes, that was some great advice. And then
The honorable mentions.
No, I've got another one.
Yeah.
Let me see. Okay, no, let me go to the honorable mentions. And then we want to finish off with the honorable mentions. The honorable mentions are actually the worst.
No, I'm lucky enough I didn't get worst advice.
You must talk to people who are unsaved more. Talk to more unsaved. They will. And you know what? Like I said, I'm sorry if you're watching this and you're unsaved. Because they're gonna be like, how dare you? I'm just saying that every bad advice I was given consistently was someone who was like, it was so bad. Yay. Number one, no, not even number one. I'm gonna end with the worst one of all time. So let's actually say number 4.
Okay.
Yes.
So this is don't do this.
These are the peak. Don't listen. If someone gives this sort of advice, switch off your brain, your ears, everything switch off. Because this is pinnacle, the worst. And these people were genuine when they gave this bad advice. Let me just say, this is shocking. So number 4 was umpensele. This was given by a lumes of mine. He said, yes, mfana, umfazi, ngabona echina. If you see her shouting, she's unhappy. Don't beat her. I said, I mustn't beat him, malume. Hayi, ungamchayi. Ungamthinta ungamchayi umfazi wakho. Umhambise bedroom. Umpensele mfanami. Umpensele. It's like your argument for men. You take it out in the pencil. Umpensele. Uzambona. After you've done the penciling in the bedroom, you have to say, Kumile, you should be quiet.
You know what? This actually works for other people.
It does work.
There are people who are set up like that.
Yes,
that's how they solve their issues. On the other hand,
that would not have definitely worked.
It wouldn't work.
Would not have worked with my wife at all. But for some people, there are people where that's
Yes, that's how they solve their issues.
That's how they solve it.
Okay, we have a problem.
Yes.
Let's go solve it in the bedroom. Kanjani, I don't know.
And I mean, all these people who gave this, they genuinely believe this advice. But for me, I interpreted it as the reason I interpreted it is because in as much as I know it works, I believe that it doesn't have long-term benefit. Like, it'll work today with the situation, but the real issues need to be resolved. And over the long run, how much penciling will I have to do over 10 years, 20 years?
And why can't it be happy pencil? Why does it have to be
all the time?
Why your pencil
now used to acting penciling? All the time. I want you to bake for me pencil. I want you to cook for me pencil.
No, pencil is just
why you shouting at me?
It doesn't have like happy.
You insulted me for my friend's pencil. Ow. So over in my mind, for my reasoning, over the 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, this is how long I want to be married, like 50 years. You know what I mean? It just doesn't work. You know what I mean? So, but over a week or 2 or a month, it works for a lot of people. And it's very passion, lots of passion. And it also means that I now need to be, my game needs to be on, like, because what if I want to argue so hard, but I can only manage 10 minutes today? You know what I'm saying? Then I haven't even got into my argument. We'll get in trouble again. So that was number 4. And then what was the next one? Yes. Something that we once mentioned. This is advice I got given by a colleague. And I once mentioned in another video, we'll put a link somewhere, which is that you must always have money that she knows nothing about. Have money that she has no knowledge of, none whatsoever. So that mawuhambe
I've been told that before.
mawuhambe machochoweni ube le mali yokuhamba machochoweni. You know what I'm saying? When you go do whatever your side things that you do that she doesn't know about, that's when you use your money that she has. Exactly. You use your mahacha money. And then a year at home, she's happy. So you must even give her the card. Because the baby not a card. She keeps the card, right? And then you've got your other incomes that she knows nothing about, which are using for other things. This is not using it for projects at home to build your home because your wife likes to buy shoes. No, we're not talking about that. We're talking about the money you're gonna use in other things that she might know are not beneficial to your marriage. So that was just like, whoa, when I heard that one, I was like, and in my mind I was like, delete. Saying, no, Jesus, no, this is awful. Okay, the next honorable mention, yes, this was another married man who gave me this advice. And he said, God, can I give you good marriage advice? And I said, yes. And he said, never, ever allow your side chick to blackmail you by threatening to tell your wife. I said, wow.
With a straight face.
Yes, oh yes. Like I said, the people believed this advice when they gave it. I said, what? He said, never. He's like me. Sidechick says, I'm going to tell your wife. I'm going to tell your wife. I tell her, go tell me. Go tell her. Go and tell her. He's like, you never. Because the second you say, no, please don't tell her. Please don't tell her. To the side chick, she's going to use it against you. Now, of course, this is very good advice to everyone who's got side chicks. I think this is top of the draw, top class. It should have been the first half of the video. That one goes in the bin. You know what I'm saying?
The bin.
In the bin. In the bin. Yes. Start by not having a side chick so that you don't get threatened. Yeah. So that was just like, and then the peak, the pinnacle. The worst, this is how we end the video. If you're still watching up until this point, congratulations. You've made
click the subscribe button.
Yes, click subscribe, comment. You've made it to the worst advice I've ever gotten in my life. I don't think anyone will ever top this. This is incredible. This man gave me this advice while his wife was sitting next to him like this. And she agreed. She said yes. She even added to his point. It was absolutely incredible that day. I couldn't even believe it. Like, wow. This was very shortly before I got married. And he said to me, he's like, if you're fighting and it's difficult at home and she's not giving you sex, she's not giving you sex because you're fighting, and there's no love, she's been where. He's like, give her time to get over her, whatever she's feeling. Give her time. And if you need sex, hambe pucha.
Go buy meat.
Ipucha is the slang word for brothel. He said, go to a brothel, sleep with a prostitute. Prostitutes are the best because they don't message you in the night. There is no evidence. There are things that have no evidence. So you sleep with a prostitute to get whatever assault that you need out of your system. And at least, it's better than a side chick because the side chick will eventually come out. And she agreed. She's like, yes. She's always like, yes. And I was, that day I was so shook. I've never been that shook in my whole life. I've never been. I was like, wow, this is, and he was very genuine. He was very genuine. Shame. He meant it. He meant it. Like, the butcher is the best. Now, like I said, for some people, when they hear this advice, this is great advice because he believed in it too. But
wow.
for me, being a religious man in my context, that was awful advice. And
no, what happened to the wife for her to agree? Has she just given up in life?
People are going through things, guys. Hey.
No, I feel like she gave up. She's given up in life.
Like, yeah, she's just like, this one is just like that. So yes, that was some of the worst advice. Those honorable mentions of some of the terriblest advice I've ever received. And if you have received terrible advice, please say it in the comments below. But please say, this is the terrible advice I was given in the beginning of your comment. Please say, this is terrible advice I was given. Because you don't want to confuse the children. And say, yeah, now on the other side said. So please do that. Thank you so much for joining us this episode. I know it's a bit longer than usual.
Yeah.
And we are looking forward to seeing you again in the next episode. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, everything.
Yeah.
We'll see you in the next one.
Bye.